Hey guys, time for part 9 of the Extreme Auxbeam light bar torture test. Yep, we're back in the shop. Needed my old stainless steel bench to do this one. It's a pretty big light bar. But anyhow, today what we've got is a 50-inch, 288-watt curved light bar. Got the 4D fisheye lenses. And if you check my channel, I did actually do a review of this light bar. You can see how bright it is and all that good stuff if you want. Of course, that's not what we're doing today. Today we're going to beat up on this thing. And if you look at this box, it kind of looks like the FedEx guy or UPS guy, I don't remember who delivered it, but it looks like they already started the torture test without me because they beat up this box pretty good. But light still works, still looks like it's in good shape, so obviously the packaging was just fine if you guys are excited about packaging. So, now that we know it's survived the transit here, what should we do to abuse this thing? Well, we're going to start out the test with something you see in all the light bar torture test videos, so apparently it's something that needs to be done, I guess. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and run this thing over with a few different vehicles, see how it can handle that. Just lay it on the ground and run her over. You know, see how the housing holds up, see if it busts the lens, anything fun like that. And Alright, before we start running this thing over, I've had several people comment on my videos that they're worried about taking their light bars through a car wash, using a pressure washer, steam cleaner, things like that on them, so they're afraid that high pressure water is going to get in behind the lens and ruin their light bar. Now I've had two different 32-inch light bars on my razor for a little over a year now, one on the front, one on the rear, and I've steam cleaned that thing several times, never had any issues with it. But I mean, why take my word for it? We got a steam cleaner, we got a light bar, let's just do it, we'll see what happens. Now you can see it's still dark out right now, and it is 29 degrees outside, so it's pretty chilly out this morning. So I'm going to go ahead and set this thing outside in the 29-degree weather. We'll get it nice and cold, and I'm going to go ahead and bring my aviator in, do a wheel bearing on it, and a couple hours later we'll go ahead and take the steam cleaner out and put some steam to this nice cold light bar and see if between the pressure and the temperature change, we're going to see if we can get some water in it. So I'll go out and get it cold and we'll get started. Now one more thing real quick while we're waiting for that light bar to get cold outside. Now all the light bars you've seen in my videos have all come from the official Auxbeam store on Amazon. Now it's a slightly different division from the main Auxbeam website. It's the same company, same light bars, just slightly different division. That's why there's different prices, things like that. But they've come out with a Facebook page recently. They told me to let you guys know about it. It's Auxbeam Amazon. So you just go to Facebook, type in Auxbeam Amazon, take you right to their official page. And they're going to be posting sales, things like that, letting you guys know about upcoming sales and things. And, you know, you got to keep in mind, all these light bars that I've been able to torture for you guys and abuse and do fun stuff to, it's all been because of them. So, you know, the least you could do, go over to their Facebook page, give them a like, you know, let them know you appreciate, you know, sending me all these light bars so I can beat on them and abuse them and make videos for you guys. So, you know, check that out. Like I said, Auxbeam Amazon is their official Facebook page. And, you know, they're supposed to be posting sales, like I said, so, you know, maybe pick up some good deals. So, go ahead and check it out. Thanks, guys. Alright, the light bar's nice and cold, and the steam cleaner's nice and hot. Let's see what happens. your truck all muddy and you just took it through the car wash, or you went ahead and steam cleaned it, got it all real nice and clean, probably steam cleaned it a lot longer than you'd ever have to do to get it clean, and I don't see any moisture whatsoever behind that lens. Make sure and go all the way down just to show you. Now, I tried to focus around all the edges, around the end caps. Went around the back side, around the back edge, and tried to get around the end caps real good. All the places it should leak. Down around the end where the pressure port is. Went around where the wires are. And that thing is still looking nice and dry. So I don't think I'd worry too much about taking these things to a car wash and getting them cleaned up. I don't think you're going to have any problems. Alright, I got the aviator all fixed, installed some new speed bumps in the parking lot. Let's go for a test drive. That works. Alright, we passed the speed bump test just fine. No problem. Got an all-wheel drive SUV running over it. Of course, we bent up some fins, but you can't expect that. Just flimsy little aluminum fins. They're not really made for driving over. They're just made for cooling light bars. So, you know, we expected those to get bent, but other than that, housing looks just fine. Everything still works great. No problem. I know what you're thinking. We can't stop with this little SUV. We should probably find something a little bit bigger. Alright, you want it bigger? We got bigger. We're bringing back the old 10,000 pound F350 tow truck, which we're still going to go ahead and keep anonymous because the owners of this tow truck don't want a bunch of light bar activist group calling them up to complain about light bar torture and whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and try this thing out with that big old dually, and I don't know, it might just break it, but let's give it a try and find out. Alright, so what did we learn? Well, I guess if your light bar falls off, lands on the asphalt, gets run over by a big old 10,000 pound four-wheel drive F350 tow truck, you're still going to have plenty of light to get you home, but we did manage to crack it. Now, I heard it when I backed over it. I don't know if you heard that crunch or not, but it's when I backed over it with the front wheel, we managed to squeeze it enough to break 1, 2, 3, 4 of the for the reflectors in there. Like I said, it just squeezed this housing just enough to put enough pressure on it that we broke those inside lenses. Light bar still works fine though, you know. I'd say it's pretty tough, and I can't imagine you're going to be putting 10,000 pounds on your light bar doing, you know, regular use, so I can't really fault the light bar for that. So I'd say it's pretty tough. It does a good job. So now, something worth pointing out real quick, most of the torture test videos that I've seen, you know, they run it over, kick it, drop it, smash it, do whatever, and then they show you a view like this and say, hey, look at that, it still works, you know, and you just, you know, you're watching the video and you think that's awesome, that light bar is invincible. You know, they don't show you the close-up view of the cracked lenses or the bent fins, little cracked end cap or what have you, you know, things like that. They don't show you that stuff, they just want you to think that their light bar is invincible. Do whatever to it, look at that, it still works. That's where I do things a little bit differently. I try to give you guys the most honest review that I can. So I show you things like that, you know, just to be honest and, you know, show you what they really do. But, I mean, that's no fault of the light bar. That was a really heavy truck. And I went over it a couple times with the Aviator, you know, four-wheel drive SUV. No problems whatsoever. And like I said, a 10,000 pound tow truck, everything's got its limits, you know. I mean, this is aluminum housing. The fact that it didn't just crush flat and stop working, that's pretty impressive. So, like I said, I don't take anything away from the light bar. You know, I'm still pretty impressed. That, you know, for a truck that big to, you know, just bend it a little bit and crack those four lenses, that's still pretty impressive. So, but I just wanted to point that out. You know, I don't want you guys thinking that these light bars take more of a beating than any of the others. I mean, most people don't show you that stuff. They just show you it still works and move on to the next test. But anyway, still pretty cool, still pretty impressive for a truck that big to not just flatten that thing out. That's pretty cool. I like it. So we'll go ahead and retire this one and we'll move on to the next victim. See you guys for the next one.